What up, guys, and welcome to the coffee shop. I am back. This is your host and barista, and this is just a little bit after the release of the HARSI KillZone. Now, I know I have been calling it the premium KillZone for a while, but I decided to make it easier for you guys. So if you go into your indicators and you type in HARSI KillZone, it's the only one that shows up. Real definitive, right? You can't mistake it for anything else. Get into it. Do me a favor. Go into the script, right? Go all the way down there. Look at all these people talking back and forth with me. And just leave a comment. I would like to test out this script. Thank you. You are the best barista ever. And I will always tell my grandmother and her friends to subscribe to your YouTube channel, so here, don't ban me on, don't get me banned on TradingView. Always subscribe to you. Don't say YouTube on TradingView. They don't like that. So anyway, yeah, so type all of that in there. You don't have to. Just tell me that you want to use it for 10 days for free, and I'll let you get, a 10-day pass on this one. It's all right. So type in HARSI KillZone, okay? Get it onto your chart. Talk with me. I'll add it to your invite-only scripts. Now, I am really excited about this tool. This is gonna be on my chart all the time. I may even turn all of my other ones into like a group where you can, actually add them to your chart as well. So this just may be the kingpin of all RSI indicators, and I want to answer a question in today's video, right? The HARSI KillZone. When do I use the zones, right? The zones that people are asking me about. I turned off the Heikin candles, by the way. The zones that people are talking about are these, right? So let's make this thicker so you can see it. So we have this zone up here. It's the bullish zone, right? And we get down this one down here. It's the bearish zone. And we get this thing in between. It's a ranging zone. Now, just to make it easier for people who are not using this script, I'm going to color the ranging zone a single color. There you go. All right, so that's that. So now the ranging zone is just a single color by itself. Okay, it's got nothing to it. Now, this is going to be bullish and this is going to be bearish. That may be a better way for you guys to visually see when the RSI is in certain areas. Like strong push to the downside, strong push to the upside. So the question is, when do I use the bullish zone, right? When the RSI crosses into it, because it crosses into it several times, but only sometimes is the zone, only sometimes I'm supposed to use like a really strong move for the zone, and other times I'm supposed to just kind of not enter the trade and just kind of wait for price reactions. Okay, let's talk about that now. Let's get that underway, right? So what do we got here? So what we're looking for is we're looking for times when the buyers have stepped into the market, right? Okay, we get this big move taking place. I'm not worried about that. I want you to see this. The buyers have stepped into the market and the RSI crosses into the zone. All right, it does it here, there, right? It does it here, right? Does it here. So here the buyers stepped out. I'm not going to mark this one. Okay, you don't have to trade every single time you get a signal. Not every time. You should only trade like when you're seeing some good setup, right? I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to worry about this one. The buyers are stepping in here again, right? The buyers stepped in and the RSI crossed up, and the buyers have stayed in, right? And the RSI crossed up. Now, we want to know why this is a small move, right? This is a small move here. There. That one's small. This one is, we'll call this medium. Okay. And you got another really like no kind of move here, right? We'll say none. There's no move here. All right. I want you guys to know why and when and why you're supposed to do this, right? And this one, we're going to call this full send. Okay. That's what we're going to do. We're going to call this full send. All right. And I hope you guys hang out for this video because this is going to be a lot of fun to talk about this. I like this. So there's something you should be seeing in the indicator itself that tells you so the indicator is designed to give you a confirmation that something is happening. And then there's another tool inside the indicator to tell you, hey, I'm confirming that step one. and there's something else to tell you, I'm confirming that step 2. It is confirmation on top of confirmation on top of confirmation. It just has one thing after another telling you that you need to do something at this point. But watch out, right? So let's just say, okay, going from left to right, let's just talk about that, right? So here, you get a small move here. The RSI crosses in to the bullish zone when the bulls have stepped in, when the buyers have stepped into the market. But the price doesn't move that far. Why? The answer is the liquidity ribbon, okay? The answer is the liquidity ribbon. Take a look at it. Take a really good look at it. What is the majority you have here? You have more selling activity than you have buying activity, right? There's more bearish liquidity in the market than there is bullish liquidity. Bullish liquidity is obviously the green side when it's flipped right side up, and then bearish is when it's flipped upside down, okay? Really cool tool, right? So if you have majority of the bears in the market, you're not going to take this long move, okay? Now you break into that zone, right? And you basically had the same amount of bulls and bears, which means you can take this trade, but I would only look at a previous swing high, something that gave you a nice stop to the market. So I wouldn't take this trade either. I want to see, if you really want to take like a full send thing, we'll get there, right? So, but you can take this as a scalp to the long side if you like. Everything is above the midline. You're good here, right? And let's see. So at this point here, you see how the buyers, they stepped out of the market. The RSI retraces. You probably have a divergence taking place here somewhere, right? And then at this point in time, the buyers stepped back into the market, and then the RSI crosses up again. Let me change the color on this RSI. Might be a little hard for you to see it. There, okay? There. So the RSI, again, crosses up into that bullish zone. But again, what do you have? You got a little bit of the sellers and a lot of buyers with a lot of strength to them. Okay, because it's nice and flat. However, in price, you have a downtrend. Okay, flat out, you have a downtrend. The RSI, the premium kill zone, is a momentum indicator, not a buy-sell indicator. So you need to look at what was the momentum that was taking place. Did that momentum carry me into a bullish zone? No. This momentum carried you into the tree. It looks like a retest of a bullish zone. So they're going to be coming back into there. So we'll call this one retest, right? We could just kind of say that it is. Let's call this retest. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to put it at the top so we can see it. And we'll take a look at that when I pop the chart back down, right? So now the RSI just does all the things that it's going to be doing, and it moves back into this bullish side again. But I want you to look at the ribbon this time. What is it doing? Full send, right? Full send on the bulls. There are no bears here. There is no selling action taking place. There's a little bit because this curve is taking place, which means they're kind of giving up, but it's just a little breathe, right? But all you see is green activity here. That's it. Full send on the bulls. So this is where you start seeing that you have a lot of volatility. So that means that you have volatility across all of these. However, here you have nothing but bullish volatility. Here you have a little bit of bearish volatility, right? And here you have, where were we? Here you have bullish and bearish volatility equally. And here you have primarily bearish volatility. Let me show you what happens when you have primarily bearish volatility in an uptrend. What does that mean? Primary bearish volatility in an uptrend means you have a lot of force pushing down, even if momentum is carrying up. There's a lot of force pushing down, right? There's too much. So you're not going to get anywhere. You're hitting this ceiling. You are hitting you're right on top of you're right at resistance, okay? Here, it's saying that you're basically split. You're not really hitting resistance. You want to look for a previous swing in price. Well, as it turns out, it ends up being that same point where you had a lot of bearish activity, right? So that's where you would trade to. So you would get in here and you would get out there. It's just kind of laid out for you. Now, I want to show you something very particular, okay? Take a look at this dotted line, how it starts right here. It starts right there, right? This is this liquidity thing. If I put this here, price has to sweep this level. So this is a liquidity sweep that's taking place. So you're good to get in. Liquidity is swept and you're good, right? So now, moving along, you get none here. You get nothing going on here. Why? Because I said the RSI crosses into the bullish zone, and you're starting to get bearish, right? You're starting to get bearish here. So there's no activity taking place here. You have a downtrend taking place, right? Lower highs, lower lows, and then flat market. So you don't have a trend here. So we called this one none, and that's what it is. Lower highs, lower lows, and then you get a flat market, like right from here. Things are just flat. So there's no trade to take, okay? So, and obviously you don't get into the short until like, I didn't even mark this one. I'm just going to move this over. You break in to the short side here, and what is your ribbon? Full send on the short, right? You are full send on a short ribbon, okay? And price just collapses down really nicely, okay? Now, then you get the RSI breaks into the bullish zone. You have full send on the bullish liquidity. And then you get this nice big move up, almost equal to the move down. It was the same kind of move up. Now, I wanted to answer this question as plainly as I can without being too excited and jumping all over the place, because this makes things easy for you guys, doesn't it? I hope so. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to use the links that are in the description below. It's going to be a link to this indicator, to the Discord, to my website, and to the TradingView comments area. I want you to use these areas to really, really try and communicate with me. I want you guys to be like equipped and available, and I want you to be comfortable using this tool, because this is going to be in every single video that I do going forward. Now, this video in particular is how to use the RSI along with the zones and the ribbon. I have another video coming up that's going to show you how do you use the Heikin Ashi candles, right? Without the ribbon, okay? And that's going to be good for scalpers, okay? When do you use a 14 period Heikin Ashi candle or a 28 period Heikin Ashi candle? Like, when do you do that? Okay. And I'm going to show you guys all kinds of videos just on this tool and like all the different settings that you can adjust for all different types of traders, right? So there you go. Now, just a quick little teaser, this liquidity thing that I have in here, see these dotted lines? I don't know if I told you already. We'll see. There, see these dotted lines right here? This is basically saying that there's liquidity generating in the market right here, there. Okay, and there's liquidity generating in the market right there, and like at the start of these lines. Okay, your settings, like your input tab, shows this, but it doesn't do anything. Okay, mine is doing it because I finally finished the code to do that. You should really get your hands on this indicator because yours doesn't show you liquidity, mine does, and in the updated version, which is a few days away, it will be showing liquidity levels not down here, but it will be showing it on your price chart. This is showing you where liquidity rests actually in the market and where it needs to be swept, okay? This can be showing you where liquidity needs to be swept. And if you take a look at how this works out, right, you can see how price breaks through, ends up using that level over and over again. I marked this one, which is down here, right there. At the close of the candle, this little line starts drawing right here. Don't worry that it gets swept here. It doesn't really matter. I just needed to do something so the line stops drawing itself. But liquidity has to sweep the market, like the market needs to sweep the liquidity and close it out. There was more liquidity created. It's also down here. Now, keep in mind, just because the price went through it doesn't mean it's gone. The liquidity has to be swept a very particular way, all right? And that's what I'm going to be doing. It's going to eliminate these lines. Sorry, they will be dotted lines, right? When the liquidity has been swept, and they will stop drawing at the candle when there is no liquidity. Now, how do you know what liquidity to go after? Well, that's going to be easy. The liquidity ribbon is going to tell you what direction you should be targeting with your price. How about that? The liquidity ribbon is going to be moving in a direction towards the liquidity that's drawn on price. Now, if you need something better for targets, I don't know what to give you. So I hope this works out for you guys. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time.